If you help me, I'll help you. If you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you do this, I'll do that. Conditions. Just conditions. Conditions are everywhere and every time. Unfortunately, we started to live in a world full of cynical relationships. You rarely see people who offer their services for free just because they want to help. They always look for a payback. Believe me, those conditions sabotage the beauty of any relationships you want to make to become alone at last, looking hopelessly for anyone to give you a hand. And then you become penniless so that you don't have anything to pay back in return. Indeed, one of the worst misconceptions we witness these days is conditional learning. Many students become like slaves living at the mercy of getting scores, especially during this period of online learning. You feel that they are not learning on its own sake, to take off that ugly mask of ignorance and replace it with knowledge. They open their bellies wide and greedily to swallow more and more. As soon as they get what they want, they forget all about what they have learned. These days, you feel that most students have become geniuses since they get full marks in all exams. They don't know that most of those scores, if not all, are not authentic at all. And there is a tremendous gap between those scores and their real levels. They deny that there are a lot of facilities offered to them just to encourage them to learn. Yet they don't know that those quizzes they do are not an honest reflection of life. Life isn't that easy at all. If it were, you would see the world full of scientists, inventors, entrepreneurs, and creative artists in every single inch of it. That's why you see a torrent of ridiculous people around. To get your scores alive, you must sweat, fight, think, create, plan, and try over and over until you succeed. Believe me, dear students, if you prefer to keep walking on well-paved roads, you will never ever get any euphoria at the end of your mediocre journey, since your level, performance, qualifications, and talents will have millions of identical copies that have chosen the same way you have naively chosen. When will we understand that we are learning to grow mentally, to leave a phenomenal legacy by the end of our journey, to feel self-satisfied, self-motivated, and internally supported and secure? When will we look at learning as a juicy experience and the thrilling journey that we must relish every single station of it? What good is getting those scores if we don't know how to apply what we learn to our day-to-day experiences? What good is the process of learning if we keep studying just to get scores, not for any lasting motives? Undoubtedly, every one of us looks for excellence and distinguishment. Yet, when they disappear, all of those great emotions will reduce to ashes. Likewise, dear parents, likewise, dear teachers, when you are talking about learning, if you give me scores, I will work. I will let my creative side shine through. I will make miracles, mister. However, I won't even look at you if there is nothing I can get in return. Really, how precarious this phenomenon is if parents, teachers, and the principals don't work very diligently together to put an end to it. When will we understand that we are learning to grow mentally, to leave a phenomenal legacy by the end of our journey, to feel self-satisfied, self-motivated, and internally supported and secure? When will we look at learning as a juicy experience and the thrilling journey that we must relish every single station of it? What good is getting those scores if we don't know how to apply what we learn to our day-to-day experiences? What good is the process of learning if we keep studying just to get scores, not for any lasting motives? Undoubtedly, every one of us looks for excellence and distinguishment. But guess what? If your main priority is just to get scores, most of the great information you have spent days, months, and even years accumulating here and there will evaporate in the air. Since when the condition is not there, you'll stop fighting, and your appetite for learning will be below zero. And then you'll kill that great hero that lives within you. Dear students, listen to my advice and try your best to apply it to your daily life, and make sure that you will never regret at all. Learn. Just learn to grow. Learn to shoot for the stars. Learn to help yourself flow in harmony with the hard circumstances and requirements of life. Learn to enjoy your awesome voyages at seas of knowledge, to explore more and to quench your curiosity more and more. Learn to help, create, innovate, motivate, tolerate, mitigate, and deteriorate all tiny and enormous germs of ignorance. Learn to increase your odds. Learn to stand unflinching in front of any crowd, to teach them that they must learn to build civilization, make history, solve controversial problems, invent new technologies, help people understand better, improve their skills more and more, and be always on top of the world. Dear students all over the world, kindly get out of that tiny box of getting scores and try to think outside that box that you stuck yourself in all the time. Learn out of that box and let your creative side seriously shine through in this spacious world. Acquire that keen vision of understanding and assimilate the process of learning. And guess what? This way you will definitely kill two birds with one stone. At first, you'll remember very well what you learned, since you do it on its own sake and with a great passion, not for any cynical benefits. Second of all, you will get the scores you've always dreamed of, and many, many more. Then, all the scores will come to you involuntarily in a hurry, to bow at your feet to satisfy you. But it doesn't matter then. You know why? Because your motive is much further than that, and much more mature. Dear student, bear in mind that it's not the end of the world if you lose a score, but it really is if you lose your precious mind and sell it short. Think right and make your future so bright, with all your spiritual, physical, and mental might.